Nation and mining family, what's going on out there? Yo, as I always say, what up, all you awesome people? Got Jason Osborne. You're the first one here, but Alex is like just the first one, the type at least. Yo, got Crypto McKell with the FA and the Chizat. Of course, Jason Osborne too, FA, and Emmanuel. What's up, everybody? What up? Jason's like, something's going to tell me it's going to be a crazy year for the altcoins. Potentially. Alex, lol. Noise. So, how are all of you awesome people doing this week? I hope you're all doing great and are safe and all that good stuff. Hope your hash rates run high and your watts run low. So, as we're waiting for everybody to kind of pop on in, got 5 of you awesome people, got more people rolling on in. Guys, don't forget to smash that lizardy like button, subscribe if you're new here, make sure the bell notifications turned on, you know, all that good stuff that's down there, right down here somewhere. So, how are all of you people out here? State's like, yes, I made it. What's up? Yo. Now everybody's rolling in. I see all the awesome cats in the Chizat. So, as you guys know, you know, it's like, we got people like really starting to chat now. Yo, hashing free cooling is wonderful. Nice. 50% of the 3060s are still profitable. Nice. Yeah, 50% of them. Well, at least all the 3060 Ti's are, at least. And with that, let's go ahead and start digging into some of this awesome tech news. So, bam. Nvidia, as I've hinted a few times that I've seen some of the SKUs from the ECC that Nvidia and the AIB partners have been coming out with mining SKUs that were supposed to be mining specific. So Nvidia has promised that its new lineup of cryptocurrency mining GPUs, called CMP for short, won't impact the supply of graphics cards for PC gamers. I call BS on that one. Yo, what's up, Bitcoin? Jake. Yeah. You already backed up an offline copy of the driver. So, we're going to get into some of this, Alex. Some people are saying that it's going to be software related that's going to nerf it. I don't believe so. So, let's go ahead and dig on in. So, with the Nvidia's new lineup, they're going to be coming out with 4 new lineups, guys. So it's going to be the 30HX, the 40HX, 50HX, and 90HX. Looks like they're going to be in par with the hash rate on there. That there's going to be 4 new cards that you can choose from. Hopefully it won't be, you know, unattainium like all the rest of the GPUs out there, but I have a feeling that it's going to be. Because, well, at the end of the day, you still need memory modules. You still need a VGA core. Granted, my theory is behind these cards is that these are going to be basically 3060 Ti's that, you know, the video driver failed on it, so they're or the ray tracing core failed on it. Whatever it may be, there was a part of the card that did not meet the standards for Nvidia, so now they're just, you know, eliminating all the outputs on it and stripping it down to a workstation style card. I believe that these are just going to be like workstation cards at the end of the day. Got more people showing on up. How's it going, everybody? We got Max Voltage. Howdy, everyone. Oh yeah, bad news. How long before we BIOS flash? Yeah. I agree. GPU manufacturing will be further restrained due to excess to dies being created for the new line to sell. Correct. Yeah, the 30HX is going to equal the 1660 Super. That's possible. That's possible. The 40HX is the 2060 Super, and the 50HX is the 2070 Super. That's actually great possibilities on that. You know, if you got old inventory that's not moving because everybody wants the new stuff, why waste the equipment when you can sell it outright? If they've already got them already made, and these are just old inventory that they're repurposing, then you shouldn't see an impact with any of the GPUs. Now, if these are 30 series cards that have failed in one way or another, then we're going to be competing with all the graphics cards out there no matter what. We know that they're going to, you know, these CMP cards are going to be sold to bigger mining farms first, so us little at-home miners, we're probably not going to be able to get our hands on them very quickly, unfortunately. So I would definitely kind of hold off on buying a bunch of stuff until you see the lay of the land. It's like when it comes to like Hive OS or SMOS, I don't think we're going to have an issue with drivers, but we'll get into this here shortly. So the 30HX is going to be 6 gigabytes worth of memory at 26 megahash at 125 watts. With that being said, the RX 580 is a way better option than this 30HX, considering I can get 31 to 33 megahash at around 70 to 80 watts and have 8 gigabytes of memory. The 30X and the 40X are going to be released shortly here in Q1 of this year. The 50HX and the 90HX are going to be later on in quarter 2. The 40HX, you're going to be looking at 36 megahash, 185 watts, and 8 gigabytes. To me, that's not hashing really any differently than a 1080 non-TI. Just saying. Then you're also looking at the 50HX, which is going to be 45 megahash at 10 gigabytes of RAM at 250 watts. At this point, my 1080 Ti is actually doing better because I can get between 46 and 49 megahash at less than 200 watts with 11 gigabytes of VRAM on there. Still carrying the 2 8-pin like the 50HX, so I mean these are not any more efficient. So are these going to be a go-to mining card? If this is all you can get your hands on, you know, it depends on the price of which one that I would actually recommend. The 90HX at 86 megahash at 320 watts, that sounds like a 3080. That's not very power efficient. So I'm not sure if these guys are running these numbers with overclocks on there, you know, are they just plugging them in and seeing how they hash, straight out of the box, this is what they're doing? Or can I optimize these and actually drop wattage on there? Because TDP is just telling you what the wattage target point is going to be at the high end. So does the 30HX, can it do the 26 megahash at 50 watts? Because at 50 watts, this becomes a very viable mining card, very efficient with 6 gigabytes of VRAM on there. Which VRAM are we going to be talking about? Are we talking about GDDR5 or are we talking about GDDR6 and the 6X memory modules? Because if it's GDDR6 and the 6X modules, we're going to be in competition with all the other 30 series graphics cards out there because there's a supply shock. All the manufacturers are having issues getting components, AE memory modules. Yo, what's up, Dan the Dame? The 50HX looks like a P102 with 10 gigabyte BIOS mod on there. But the hash rate's not going to be that high. You're not going to see 86, 90 mega hash. I mean, if these are straight out of the box, what they're doing, there's a lot of room for optimization on here. I would like to see the 90HX coming in at like 220 watts, running 86 to 90 mega hash. Otherwise, it's really not that good. Yes, and that's my thing too. The GDDR6 and the 6X are going to want way more wattage than 50 watts. So I mean, if I can get that thing down to a 30HX, if I can get it down to, like, let's say 80 watts, between 75 and 80 watts, and I can get it to optimize out at, let's say, 30 to 31 mega hash, not too terrible depending on price point on these bad boys. If they're sitting there and charging these at the same rate like the 3060 Ti, this is not viable, considering that how nerfed this card is. And I do agree with Max with with what his thoughts could possibly be, where the 30HX could be a 1660, where it's a cut down 1660. I believe some of these are just like either repurposed old cards, or if they are the new cards like the 90HX, it's probably got like the ray tracing core that failed on it or something. They removed something out of the card that stopped it from being a viable gaming card. So I'm interested in these. I would like to see when they come out what the price point is on these bad boys. I mean, is this something that you guys would want to see me get my hands on one of each of these cards to test out for you guys, so you know which ones would be the most viable for you guys? You guys, if you're watching this after the video, after the live stream, put a comment in down below. Or if you guys would like to see me that are here right now, definitely spam the FA in the chat if you want to see me try to get my hands on some of these cards to test out for you. Mikhail's like, do it, do it, do it. So yeah. Yeah, 60 mega hash at 50 watts for the win. That would be outstanding. And Mikhail, you're still thinking of getting a 3060 non-TI. It's going to be only viable for gaming. You won't be able to mine on it. Well, you will, but it's not. You're not going to be happy with it. I mean, this is basically what they're saying, but no pricing, no other information on this. So, how these GPUs stack up versus the existing graphics cards, GeForce lineup does hint at some similarities between the two and nod their position and destination in the gaming lineup. For example, the CMP 90HX is 86 mega hash with a 320 watt target point, 10 gigabytes of RAM. That's bang on with the RTX 3080 specification. It may differ in clock speeds and configurations like that, but it's right there with the 3080. It doesn't carry, none of them are going to carry that funky 12-pin connector. They're going to be 8-pin, 2 8-pins or a single 8-pin connector, which makes it easier for you to integrate into a normal mining rig. What if the nerf is just a lock to a P5 state, easily changed on Linux or NV profile inspector? That would be interesting if you're able to do that. And Max, you're like, I'm planning on getting 2 of the 3060s and seeing what I can do with them on other algos. Yeah, where they're like DAG file related algorithms. You know, I almost sit there and think that this is gonna be they're gonna get some bad feedback from this. This is my opinion. So for people who render video, there's going to be a lot of memory constraint on that. So if they're not going to be able to tell if you're mining with it. But if you're sitting there using your 3060 as a workstation card, because, you know, let's be real, not all of us are made with a ton of money where we can just go out and grab the latest and greatest thing, top tier everything, and be able to have a baller rendering machine. So you're basically going to say to the people who buy the 3060 non-Ti that you're not going to be able to mine. Cool. But what about anything that is memory workload related over a long period of time? Are you going to be nerfing those numbers also? And is there a way for Nvidia's BIOS to be able to tell this? I think that this is not something that's going to hit out to the general public. I don't believe it's going to be a driver issue. This is not going to be controlled in software. And I'll get to that one in just a moment. They announced a little while ago today. This is something that they did announce. Yeah, we need to buy as many of them as we can with your stimulus and beat them with a sledgehammer and post it on YouTube. That's hilarious. Show them they're a little worse to use ways to use a card. Yeah. Specifically said Linux is also is affected also. Yes. So they're saying that this is going to be something that's affected in Linux side and on Windows side, which tells me that it's a BIOS thing. They program this thing that if it sees high memory usage, that it starts to limit itself on performance. Why are they mad? We left the 1030 available for gamers. Yeah, just like we try to leave. Yeah, well, we're not leaving the 3060 Ti's to the gamers. We're taking those as much as we can get our hands on them. Now, I'm also curious to sit there and wonder if they're going to be also doing this with the entire 330 series lineup. So anything moving forward, if you've got a 3090, a 3080, a 3070, a 3060 Ti, are they going to be BIOS nerfing these bad boys too? Where they're forcing, Nvidia's like, oh no, we only want gamers over here. You miners, you get to be put in your own little small isolated world over here. And we're not going to give you top tier performance. We're going to give you the leftovers. I think that's going to be a very bad way for Nvidia to go down the route. This is going to make AMD come back with a boom in the mining industry if this is the route that Nvidia wants to play with all of their GPUs. Now, they're only talking about the 3060 doing this so far. We're going to have to see if they sit there and, like I said, this is going to be a bad omen. If they do this with the 3060, they're probably going to start doing this with all the other ones, and they're going to force the miners over into a corral over to the side. Unless somebody, one of the mining program developers, or somebody figures out which BIOS you need to flash on this with with NV, with the NV BIOS editor on there. So give a few weeks. ETH enlargement version 3. Oh god, that would be awesome. I would be down on to getting my hands on something like that. So the news, this news ruling that Nvidia that it will force its upcoming 3060 graphics card to run lower hash rate when Ethereum mining is detected. But I wonder how what they're going to do to detect this, because of the fact that, are they looking at just high memory usage? Because then video editors, potentially streamers, and anybody using a workstation that are trying to build a workstation on a budget, they might not be able to utilize the 3060 then in any way, shape, or form. This might make it to where the 3060 itself is only for budget-friendly gamers. But don't worry, the 3060 still will not be obtainable by anybody because of scalpers. So, I mean, they're really not fixing anything at the end of the day, guys. I mean, that's some of my opinion on this. Alex, that's too funny. Oh God, I love a girl. God forbid they sell all the cards at launch. Maybe sent more than one container for the whole country. Yeah, that's true. And then God forbid that they should try to stop scalpers. It's never the scalpers' fault. It's only the miners. Mining is the only reason why graphics cards are unattainable. Right. Because like I've got a whole mining room, thousands of GPUs of 3080s in there running away, Right. If I'm having an issue trying to get my hands on them, that means every other miner out there is also having an issue. It's a whole miner. The only place that the miners are competing with the gamers are when Nvidia sells directly to the mining facilities, or they're selling directly to data centers. Now, that's another flip side of this all. How viable are these cards going to be to data centers at this point? We're talking about, putting them under a high workload. It's like just like Max was saying. I'm wondering, if I put these cards onto another algorithm besides Ethereum, will they perform just fine? Where, like, take for instance Ravencoin, or like Ravencoin, Beam, Grin, one of the other ones, Concealed Network, something like that. Are they going to be nerfed? Because if they're not, I mean, we all know that Ethereum mining is not going to be around forever. We probably have at minimum one more year worth of mining for Ethereum before that gets pushed off to the wayside. Tech man, that's funny. God knows I love a woman. Hashtag married life. Too funny. So let's go ahead and get into the other article that goes right along with this. So the GeForce is made for gaming. CMP is made to mine. We're limiting the hash rate of the 3060 GPUs so that they're less desirable to miners, and launching Nvidia CMP for the professional mining. I'm only down on these CMPs if the price point's amazing and I can actually lower the wattage on these things and maintain the high hash rates on this. Zion, I need some help. I need someone to help me not miss the train. I'm looking to start mining and the prices are insane. Don't mind buying equipment at MSRP or slightly higher. Please help and thanks. It depends on where you're at, Zion, or Ian. I'm not sure how to... Zion, Ian, I'm not sure. Or Fonty. I'll just call you Fonty. Not sure where you're at in the world, so it depends on where you're at. Depends on how hard it's going to be able to find graphics cards. That's going to be the biggest thing of you trying to find is going to be graphics cards. I would kind of hold out. It's like if you're trying to build one right now on a budget, look at eBay, secondhand used market. But even those are going to be gouged still. Oh, you're in the Caribbean. Oh, nice, the Caribbean. That's awesome. You're going to have an issue, dude. I'm not sure if you've got any PC computer stores out by you in the Caribbean. That's going to be a really hard one because everything has got to be imported to you. You're going to have everything's just going to be really expensive. So I would try to find it locally. The RX 580s are still good. The RX 580 8 gigs are good. 1070 Ti's, 1080 Ti's. These are going to be your older generation, but still very viable, still amazing cards. The rest of the, motherboards, they're high in price. CPUs, high in price. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world, you're paying a premium to set up any kind of a PC. So I would sit there and say, start off, if you don't have a PC, start off with trying to build a PC and just add graphics cards to it when you can find them. That's usually the best bet that the best suggestion that I give people. Of course, not mining advice in any way, shape, or form. So, going in with this little blog from Nvidia directly, we are gamers through and through. Yeah, so are us miners. We're gamers too. We're obsessed about our new gaming features, new architectures, new game and tech. We designed GeForce GPUs for gamers, and gamers are clamoring for more. No, they're trying to clamor for just any one GPU at as close to MSRP as they can get their hands on. Well, scalpers stop that. Us miners, we're not reselling our stuff in any way, shape, or form. We're putting them hard to work. So if the gamers are complaining about, oh my god, I can't get my hands on them, you can thank scalpers for that, because there are thousands of people without work and thousands of people are trying to make money. Supply and demand. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting time ahead in the next 6 months, give or take. Hey, what's going on, 96C and Bojan? What up? What up? Nvidia GPUs are programmable. Yes, any kind of computer part, it should be, as long as it's not an ASIC, should be reprogrammable. And users are constantly discovering new applications for them, whether for weather simulation, gene sequencing, and deep learning and robotics. Mining cryptocurrency is one of them. Deep learning, gene sequencing, weather simulations. You're talking about algorithms that are going to be stored on memory. So unless, and it just makes it to where the 3060 non-TI is not going to be for these people. With the launch of the RTX 3060 in like 7 days, we're taking an important step to ensure GeForce GPUs ends up in the hands of the gamers. Having hash rate. So some of the people were sitting there going, well, the 3060 Ti is going to be getting anywhere from 60 to 65 mega hash on Ethereum at a rate around 120 watts. They're talking about the hash rate on the 3060 to be in half. So definitely a lot less than what I was thinking they would be at. I'm curious to see what these things actually would be if it's on a non-memory bound algorithm, if you see any difference. That only makes sense our GeForce GPUs introduce cutting-edge technologies such as RTX real-time ray tracing, which is a good thing. The DLSS, which is the AI accelerated imaging upscale technology, which is amazing. Finally, the first-gen DLSS sucked. Reflex super fast response rendering for the best system latency. So if you're gaming, these have some of the best frame rates on there with the 30 series in general. And many more tailored to meet the needs of gamers and those who create digital experiences. So again, they're talking about gamers, and maybe streamers are going to be able to use this. So they're going to be taking away this card from being a workstation card. So if they're just dedicating one GPU lineup to just the gamers, so the gamers know that they're not competing with anybody but the fucking scalpers, that'll show them that it wasn't us miners robbing them of their ability to grab graphics cards. They're going to find out that it was the scalpers. The CMP products, which don't do graphics, are sold through authorized partners for optimized for the best mining performance and efficiency. They don't meet specifications required for the GeForce GPU and thus don't impact the availability of GeForce GPUs to gamers. This is where I'm going to call bullshit. So, if they don't meet the specifications required of a GeForce GPU, this tells me a couple of things. They're failed GPUs. They had something wrong with them, whether the RTX failed, DLSS, when you try to use the accelerated image upscaling, it starts to artifact a little bit on you. It's got high latency on the rendering, so your frame rates are a little bit down. Temperatures are out of control whenever you try to achieve a good gaming experience with the highest frame rate. These are things that are going to basically make it to where it does not meet the specifications required for GeForce, because all the GeForce GPUs have to be approved by Nvidia. So if they're failed GPUs, okay, cool. They're taking cards that they would normally have just thrown away. Hey, what's up, Jay Mad? Yes, Yajnik. Yeah, it seems like the scalpers are the ones protected. Fucking A right. It is such bullshit that they're targeting the miners, because it's an easy target. You know, it's like we are a small niche group of people. We shouldn't be the ones that affect GPU sales in any way, shape, or form. Oh God, yeah, J-Mad. It is insane to try to get computer parts. I don't even care what computer part. You're talking power supplies, CPUs, motherboards, chassis. You name it, they are all having an issue if you're trying to buy the latest and greatest stuff. So yeah, it is a bunch of crap. So I believe that. I mean, I'm hoping that this is just them trying to make sure that the 3060 is nothing that the mining community will go after, trying to salvage a little something from the gamers. I mean, considering that if you guys missed it, Zotac posted a post on crypto Twitter going, hey, look, we got these GPUs that are hungry for coin. They got so much slack from the gaming community that they actually removed the post. That was hilarious, because all these AIB partners and Nvidia all have a blockchain division. I don't care what they want to tell you. They all have a blockchain division. AMD has a blockchain division. So they are already Before they sell these cards, they know they perform. They know how they hash, and they know how they game. This is just, I think, a stab at the miners for no reason. Other than, hey, we can do it. And yes, Nick, I 100% believe that. So if I can get my hands on a 3060 and I can flash it with the TI variant, and all of a sudden it hashes like a monster, well, we know it's in the BIOS. And you're only talking about a little bit of reprogramming of the GPU, and you've got a good card. But yeah, they will, and in the Ashnik, I believe that they will be taken, no matter how much they try to say it's just only going to be for the gamers. Well, they're probably only going to last on. You're going to see them go on for sale. 3-4 seconds later, you're going to see them on eBay, because that's the miners doing all of this. Us crypto miners is the problem. We're the evil ones here, right? No gamer would ever want to mine on their computer. No gamer would want to have their computer pay for the next bloody upgrade, right? I'm just saying. So, to address the specific needs of the Ethereum mining, they're announcing the Nvidia CMP, or the cryptocurrency mining processor product line for the professional mining. Now, I'm only going to like these cards if I can get these cards to run at a ridiculously low wattage point. If I can get the watts down there and it mines better or just as good as AMD does, like the RX 580 or the RX 5500, dude, these are going to be very viable, and we're all going to be competing with each other trying to get our hands on them. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think these things are going to be running at the higher wattage, you know. I believe the 30HX, you're probably looking at, 90 to 100 watts. The 40HX, you're probably looking at about 120 to 130. The 50HX, you're probably looking at 180. The 90HX, you're probably looking at about 220, somewhere right around there. That's going to be my opinion on this. Jay, man, that's too funny. I'm wondering if there's a warehouse around here that needs looting. This is not mining advice or looting advice. I wouldn't do it. You're going to get caught. It's going to be bad. So the CMP products, which don't do graphics, because they're not going to have any graphics outputs like the last generation of mining specific cards. They're going to be sold through authorized partners for the best mining and efficiency. We'll have to see about that. But for instance, CMP lacks the display outputs, like I was saying, enabling improved airflow while mining, so that they can be more densely packed. Now, this one is an interesting one to me, because like, if you guys know your Nvidia lineup very well, when you're looking at the graphics card standing up with the PCIe riser facing down, the fins on the radiator are vertically set. If I'm going to put these into a server case, I want them to be horizontal. This way I can strip the fans off of them, strip the shroud off of them, keep the radiator on there, and have Delta fans keeping these cards cool. These cards become a little more interesting to me. So I'm going to definitely be keeping my eye on these, because if it's got horizontal cooling radiators on there, these are going to be easier to deploy in a mining farm. Anybody who's running open air rigs, like the Veta frames and stuff like that, you're not going to notice a huge difference. This is going to be for people like myself, Red Panda Mining, and any kind of data farm that runs everything in a server case. You can put these, you can strip everything off of the fans and the shrouds off of them, and get these cards as close as humanly possible to each other, so you can densely pack them in to like a 4U, a 6U. This way you're putting in 6 to 12 GPUs in one server case. One year, a RX gets 3 Doge. Don't try that. Oh, that's too funny. So CMPs have lower peak coverage, voltage, and frequency, which improves their power mining power efficiency. That's something that I would expect if I'm cutting down if I just eliminate the ray tracing cores, so I'm not powering up anything extra that I do not need on this board. Theoretically, I should use less wattage. Right off the top, I should have a less of a wattage target point on this. Period. And then, like I was saying, talking about Zotac. Zotac talked about, we got this mining rig and it's hungry for coin. Here is Nvidia being tested, the 3060 being tested, and it is the Zotac version. So Crypto Leo already got his hand on a sample from Zotac directly, or it got leaked to him and he somehow got his hands on it, but he probably got it directly from Zotac. So he decided to check it out. So it officially launches, like I said, next week. The retailer selling these cards ahead of launch for nearly 800 USD has already sold out of 3060 cards. It just shows how easy it is for scalpers to distribute to sell these cards, which are still undergoing embargo. Unfortunately for the retailer, the author of the video shows serial code which can be easily tracked to the retailer itself. So whatever retailer sold these is gonna get into major trouble. JMad. That's a good question. Okay. So you're like, realistically, what should I do with this build? I need a GPU. Kid wants to game, and I'm forced to wait or take the loss up the ass. Believe it or not, if you go on the Steam, okay, according to Steam's Steam collects data from anybody who games on Steam, right? So they're going to look at your computer's specifications. What motherboard are you running on? What CPU are you on? It's not going to know if you're water cooled or anything like that, but it's going to know the physical hardware. It's not going to know, you've got this hard drive on there, but it's going to be looking at CPU, motherboard, and graphics card. The average person is running a 1060. So, with that being said, a 1080 Ti is not bad of a card. A 1660 Ti is not bad of a card. And both of those mine very well. Very well. You aren't going to get, 4K experience. You're not going to get 8K. Well, 8K is bullshit anyway. Who wants to spend 30 grand for 8K? If you got 30 grand, you're not complaining about, 2 grand, 3 grand on a graphics card. Sorry, you're going to grab a 3090 water block. Done. But, 1070 Ti, 1080 Ti, a 1660 Ti. Hell, even if you want ray tracing, look into the 20 series. The 2060 Super, the 2070 Super. I'm not really big on the 2080 and the 2080 Ti price point. They suck with that shit. But the lower lines, they are not bad of a card to get in there. Otherwise, if you got a Micro Center that's by you, get there on a Thursday. and you will have a bigger chance of getting Yeah, he bought it from a retailer, and Zotac is looking into him already. Oh yeah, I'm sure of it. Absolutely sure. Someone on Twitter called him out with the serial number. Yes. So I mean, you're able to sit there and see that whatever vendor this was is going to get in major trouble. Major trouble. Considering that this card should not be an $800 card. Considering that the 3060 Ti is like a $600 card. After, about $630, $650 after taxes, USD. This card should be like a $400 to $500 card. $550 with tax, maybe, on the high side. You're in California. Okay, J-Mad. I mean, for a 1070 Ti, you're going to be looking in the ballpark of about 200 to 350. A 1080 Ti, you're going to be around 4 to 550. Oh, you're in Canada. Oh. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, you'd be looking at like an easy grand in Canadian. Easy grand. Yeah, unfortunately, this has got to be like the worst that we've ever seen with trying to put PC parts together. I've never seen trying to get getting PC parts being this bad. This is the worst. And I'm talking to other miners, big mining facilities, smaller mining facilities. We are all complaining about it. It's not just the gamers talking about unavailable graphics cards and pricing on this shit. So if it was such a mining issue, then if it was such a mining issue, the bigger mining farms that I've been talking to should be loaded up on them, and they're not. But it's easier to pin the tail on the donkey, and the donkey in the room is the miners. There's no other reason. COVID doesn't have anything to do with this. Supply chain issues has nothing to do with this. The low quantity of GPUs being sent out worldwide has nothing to do with it. It's only miners. Yeah, GLM. It's all about GLM. GPU lives matter. J-Man. Okay, back to looting. Back to looting. Come on, guys, let's go. No. I don't condone the looting. I don't condone any of that stuff. Alex Frost. I was in the shower, but back to other algos. I didn't even know you were in the shower with us. Just saying. Even on workstation loads, Nvidia forces P2 states. Yes. Negative 500 AB on Pascal, negative 200 on Turing, negative 200 on Ampere. Profile Inspector lets you disable force P2 states. Yeah, that'll be interesting if there's a way to be able to circumvent what Nvidia is trying to do here. Because what Nvidia is doing is basically they're discriminating against the market. This is you miners are evil. That's like being racist, sexist, and whatever you want to call it. To me, this is a bad step for Nvidia. And I do not condone anything that Nvidia is doing with this bullshit. No, I don't think so, Alex. It's not going to be the drivers. I think it's going to be the firmware on the GPU itself. So you're going to have to do BIOS editing on Nvidia. And we all know Nvidia hates BIOS editing. AMD is okay with it. Nvidia's like, no. Even though there is a way to be able to BIOS edit, the 30 series cards now. So I don't think it'll take long for people to circumvent what Nvidia is trying to do here. It's just gonna take somebody to get their hands on it, reverse engineer what they did, and then come up with a good solution. Because all of us miners, and even people who don't have a whole lot of money, we are creative with trying to figure out solutions to what they're trying to do. Brett, $450 US for a 1660 OC Super, a good price. Yeah, that's actually not bad if it's brand new. Not bad at all. If I was looking for a good gaming card that can mine also, not bad. Maybe if you can find the TI version also, that's not going to be a bad option either. TI probably cost you about $50 more. But yeah, $450 US for a 1660 OC Super, not bad. Used. Ouch. That would be, that's a little on the high side for my liking. For a used 1660, I would be looking more into the price range of a 1070 Ti, because that's basically what a 1660 OC Super really is. It's a 1070 Ti, like right into that range. So on the used market, you're looking at between $200 and $350 for a 1660. For a 1070. So I would kind of put the 1660 into that same thing. But if you absolutely need a graphics card, because let's say you're running a RX 580 4 gig, or you're running a 1050 or a 1060, you might want to get your hands on something like that. Oof. Yeah, it all depends on how badly you need a graphics card. This is some of the worst times to try to buy. $450 for it. Oh God, Brett, as sad part as I work at an IT reseller and can get new at cost, but the back orders are stupid right now. Yeah, I bet. I absolutely bet. I appreciate Nvidia. I bought 10 shares of AMD around $27, and they're doing everything they can to make that investment go 100x. Oh yeah, thanks to Jensen. That is awesome tech, man. You're just trying to add to your rigs. If you're just trying to add to the GPU farm, I would probably pass on that. That is a little high for 1070 performance. So that's my point, my viewpoint on that, Barrett. Is that a 1660 is 1070 performance. And if you're talking a couple of, $100 to $200 more than a 1070, I'd pass. At the end of the day, you're not getting anything special. You're just looking at a little bit better of a power efficient GPU. That's it. It's a 1070. I've got a 1660 Ti. It doesn't do any better than my 1070 Ti. It actually, my 1070 Ti's get 1 mega hash better, but I'm using 20 more watts. 20 to 30 more watts. I can get my 1660 Ti around, right around 30 mega hash, between 29 and 30 mega hash, running between 90 to 100 watts. You want to know the actual raw cost of a card, give you a manufacturer part number. Hey, Brett, if you're not already, I got a Discord link down below to the Family Mine. That's me and my home dog, Crypto Mikkel's personal Discord. Love to have you in there. And yeah, we can sit there and chit-chat a little bit about what the wholesaler price, I guess you want to say, for these GPUs really are. Jason or Osborne. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Yep. That's my little Zeus. And he is in a playful mood. He just got up from his cat nap. Yo. Oh my god, that's disgusting, the Deadwood. 580s going for 300 up? Wow. Damn. That's insane. This is not a GPU buying market at all. Yeah, pretty much crypto world. Wait for the crypto winter. But at the same time, if you think about it, if you really think about it. Oh, no problem, Brett. So, God, saw the same price on Amazon. $250 on a 4 gigabyte 580. Those people are insane. That's absolutely insane. That's crazy talk right there. Absolutely crazy talk. I mean, granted, if you can get yourself an 8 gigabyte, or, a 6 gigabyte or higher, a graphics card, you're going to ROI on them pretty quickly. You'll get your return on your investment. But, you got to be committed and make sure that you grab the right graphics card that will have the long-term mineability on them. It's not that the RX 6000 series is not good for mining. Okay, so Bojan, that's you actually bring up a good comment there. So basically, what the issue is when Ethereum finally switches over to proof of stake and it's no longer mineable. That's when you're going to have the issue with AMD cards. AMD cards are not about the core performance. They're about memory performance. That's one thing that AMD does beautifully, is they've got the best memory management in the industry, period. So if you're able to get yourself an RX 6000 series, cool. You'll be very proud. It's like, especially if you can get the lower tier cards. A non 68. The 67 or 6500. Whenever they, if you can get your hands on them, whenever they come out. But like the Deadwood saying here, the 6800 non XT is $900. $900 to $1,000. The price point per hash, not worth it. They're way too overly priced. Now, granted, they're going to ROI in like 200 days or so, which is amazing. 200 days, boom. Where my 3080s are like right around 150 days. So my 580s will ROI faster than the 6800. So whenever Ethereum finally switches over to proof of stake, you're left with Ethereum Classic to be able to put all of your AMD rigs onto. That's my issue, is that you're very finite in what you can really effectively mine with. You got to mine something with a DAG file, so that's going to be Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. 2 algorithms. Where Nvidia, anything that's mineable that requires core performance, Ravencoin with Prog Pow. Nvidia does way better. Way better. I can prove that with my RX 580 rig versus my GTX 1070 rig. My GTX 1070 rig, if I put it into the best performance, I'm getting 15 to 16 mega hash on there. Where in RX 580, I'm getting between 9 and 12. Ubic also, you know, you're looking at something that's gonna be better on Nvidia, because that's Prog Pow. Prog Pow balances between the core and the memory. Nvidia does that a little bit better, just a little bit, because of the core performance. Prog Pow wants more power than it does want an overclock. So AMD does not shine in that situation. AMD shines whenever you can pull power and boost the memory. All of a sudden AMD is like, oh, I'm a hash god. Oh, dude, the 550 XT for $179. You get a gold sticker for that one. You get a major gold sticker for that. Oh, that's a hella score. Yeah, if you've BIOS modded that 550 XT, you should be like right around, what, 40 mega hash at like at least like 90 watts. Maybe even lower, maybe 75 watts. I'd be very curious to see what you've got yours at. I've heard ranges kind of go a little all over the place, from like 36 mega hash to like 45 mega hash. Oh, you got the 4 gigabyte variant? Ooh. Oh. That's horrible. Yeah, you need at least the 6 gigabyte variant. I didn't realize those were 4 gigabyte. But back to this. So whenever this article was released, the 3060 drivers will be able to detect if the user is mining cryptocurrency. I'm not sure if it's going to be a driver thing. That's what some of the speculation is. Because if it was a driver thing, that means they should be able to limit it on every single graphics card. If it's a non-mining graphics card, they should be able to stop it through drivers. I don't believe that this is going to be the fact. I think this is all done through BIOS and not drivers. They're basically rendering it unprofitable to mine on, blah, 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 blah. And if you look at this, you can see that it starts off at 41 mega hash, which is where I suspected it to hit at. And then, after it cycles through for a little bit, you'll see down here it says 27.2 mega hash. So it drops, about 20 mega hash off of it after mining over time. So that's telling me that either this card is throttling itself really badly, or through BIOS, they've limited what this card can really do. And I believe it's the latter of the two, where they're limiting it through BIOS, which there should be fixes for this. It's just going to take time, guys. So don't be scared at all. But if you sit there and you see how this guy is mining, though, there's no overclock on this thing. He's got it at 100% power, and he just turned up the fan on it. So he reset the fan curve and just let it go. This is not how any of us mine, guys. None of us. So this could be them showing that it is thermal throttling. So there's that, because usually if it's going to be hard limited, it's not going to be something that I see over time. All of a sudden, bink, and it just starts dropping hash rate like I've hit the temperature limit. So I have some speculation of what I'm looking at here. Here it is, another, here it is again, and he's got an overclock on it. But again, 100% power, guys. He is not turning down the power in any way, shape, or form. So this thing is eating as much power. So you're like heat soaking the shit out of the radiator. And he put 100 on the core and 1200 on the memory. This could be too much on the memory controller too. If the memory controller can't handle this, it's going to throttle itself down too. So you see how he starts off at 51 megahash and it ends at 26 megahash. So he was doing better with no overclock on here, because it was at 27.2 with no overclock on it, except for, no overclock. And then with an overclock, he's at 26.0. So he's almost dropped a full megahash, more than a full megahash, with his ridiculous overclock on here. Is he showing that there's that Nvidia really limited anything, or did he show that these cards are thermal throttled? I'm thinking that this card is thermal throttled like a mofo. I'm just saying. This guy does not know how to set overclocks properly. He is probably a straight up gamer that does a little bit of mining, because he's into crypto. But I do not think that he runs a huge... I mean, I know a lot of people that set bad overclocks on their mining rigs that I've had to go behind them and fix. And then they're like, oh my god, you're the GPU Jesus of graphics cards. You gave me more hash rate at less wattage. Exactly. That's just how I do it. I know how to bring these cards on the max efficiency. That is my forte. And yeah, Nick, is like, as far as the whole gaming mining thing for GPUs, I look at it like this way. GPUs are like cars. Gaming is like driving in the city, and mining is on the highway driving. We all know what's best for your car. Hey, what's going on, Barrett? Welcome back. So, yeah, I believe I kind of understand what you're saying with that. Where if you want to just game, you're going to go after a gaming specific GPU. But I don't think that they're going to. I don't think Nvidia is going to be able to stop people from mining on this card. I think there is going to be a workaround. And then considering that this is from Zotac, of all places, Zotac. I run a Zotac 1080 Ti Core Amp Extreme in my PC. This one has great cooling on it. I've got another 1080 Ti from Zotac. It's just the regular 1080 Ti Amp Extreme. It's not the Amp Extreme Core like I have in my PC. My Amp Extreme Core is almost a 3 DIN slot. Heavier than all get out. Fattest radiator I've ever seen Zotac ever produce. My regular dual fan Amp Extreme, that fucker gets hot. I've got to pull power off of it like crazy to get it to mine right. Otherwise, yeah, it just throttles itself down. something fierce, or it just lives life in the high temps. And I don't like to see my graphics cards getting over 68C. To me, that's just abusive to your equipment. And yes, Nick, I understand. It was just like more of an analogy on things. We know how to make these things game properly. We know how to make these things mine amazing. When it comes down to, a vast majority of us miners, we can set these GPUs up in our sleep and have them stable, efficient, and good to go. Never seeing high temperatures on there unless you live in the Mojave Desert, then you're going to just have general issues, just because it's hot and it's dusty out there. But yeah, I mean, you're going to see people like this where they're going to be like, oh yeah, with 100% power usage, look at how much it's not mining anymore. This could be a PR stunt too. Them sitting there showing, oh look, see, it doesn't mine properly. This is a horrible mining card. But he made the mistake of screenshotting his overclock. That was his big mistake. And then you can sit there and see which driver he's using. He's using driver 461.48. At least that's what I think. Yeah, it's either 4.8 or 4.1, someone like that. So, yeah, I don't see them. This might be a PR stunt in my opinion. So I mean, they're just trying to sit there and throw everybody off the, hey, these cards are boo-foo. Don't. Oh, you're all good, Yashnik. Don't worry at all. Never apologize. It was more like how gamers think when they buy used GPUs and always ask, did you use it for mining? Yeah. Not realizing that us miners actually take care of our GPUs better than gamers. Hands down. I mean, my brother, I tried to get him mining a couple of years ago. He mined for a little while. And then he didn't tell me, but his PC started like just randomly crashing the desktop. He'd get the blue screen of death sometimes, where he'd have to reboot the PC to get it to come back, or he'd just get a straight up black screen on there. He finally brought it up to my attention, and I'm like, dude, bring your GPU over. I'm gonna pull it apart. We'll clean it. And I pulled it up. Before I even cleaned it, I tossed it onto my mining rig, and I'm like, dude, this thing's been mining for an hour. There's no issues. So I pulled it apart, cleaned it. Thermal pads were oily as all get out. Replaced the rock hard thermal paste on there, put it back onto the mining rig. Still mined like an animal. I had it on there for a couple hours. Brought my little brother back home, and we DDU'd the drivers off of his PC. Display driver uninstall. And you got to do that in safe mode, guys. Have to. You start your PC up in safe mode. Good to go. So we got his drivers off of there, reinstalled new drivers. He hasn't had an issue since, and he's been mining away on it. So I think some of this stuff is like, like the game. My brother games like an animal, but his GPU gets way hotter than whenever I'm mining. His GPU, in his case, if he just left the case alone and didn't take the side panel off and put a fan on it, his GPU would be sitting almost 70 C while he's gaming. True that, crypto world. Yeah, I mean, if you're an extreme gamer and you're looking for the max frames per second, you're gonna figure that out quickly. Of what max memory stable, what core is stable, and you're just gonna let it rip like that. Most other people, they just plug and play their stuff. They put it in, plug it in, and whatever performance comes out of it, they're cool with. And I mean, like with the 1080 Ti's, you didn't see much of a bump of performance overclocking. You're talking 1 to 2% performance bump if you overclocked it, and when you overclock them, sometimes you introduced instability issues from time to time. Like, it wouldn't happen all the time. It was just from time to time. You would get like these weird crashed desktops. So, does anybody have any questions for me before I sign up out of here, guys? Since I've been chit-chatting for over an hour now, talking about all this gaming and stuff, man, I've been looking at games, and I'd like to do a little gaming tonight. So, if you guys are interested, I will be on Twitch gaming a little bit later on tonight. So if you want to join, we can sit there, game, and chit-chat crypto and all that good stuff. Crypto world, are you ready for warmer weather yet? No, not at all, not at all. I heat my house up by GPUs, and I've got snowmobiles. I don't have any recent ones. I'm like curious. Do I have anything? Oh yeah. This is something that Crypto Mikkel just messaged me on. Just got a note back from Nvidia. They are confirming that the RTX 3060 Linux drivers will also have the Ethereum performance nerfed as well, which is to be expected. But it's nice to get a confirmation since Linux is the OS of choice for mining at scale. That is 100% true, guys. Damn, crypto world. Your lakes have got to be frozen solid. Ravencoin, no, it does not pull a lot of power from riser. The most that a riser can pull power is 75 watts. That is the sweet spot because that's pretty much what your motherboard can handle. Zion, I really don't have any equipment that I'm like trying to get rid of right now. Maybe at a different point in time, sure. But as of right now, no, I'm not looking to sell any of my equipment because I'm hashing on all of it. The only time I don't hash on my PC is when I'm using it. When I'm live streaming or gaming, I don't mind on it. So unfortunately, my man, I won't be able to do that. And you're in the Caribbean, so I mean, even shipping, even if I had equipment to sell you, the shipping charge will be astronomical. Astronomical. Oh yeah, if you're Bojan, if you're putting, depends on how many, if you're putting like, okay, so SATA cables, max wattage that I would ever run through is 150 watts, and that's with the thicker gauge SATA cable wiring. So if you're powering up, let's say 3 risers on there, you know, you're at 225 watts, which you're way over. So if you've got a cheaper power supply with thinner gauge SATA cable wiring, them things might only be rated for 90 watts. So anywhere from 90 to 150 watts is going to be your limitation on SATA. So be careful with that, Bojan. And if you're daisy chaining your SATA going from the riser to a 6 or an 8 pin up on top with a splitter, never do that at all. That's just asking to burn down stuff. That is a possibility, Techman. And you do bring up a good, valid point. I try to, if I'm powering up a riser and a GPU, I try to keep them all on the same power supply. Have I powered up risers on one PSU and powered the GPU itself up? Yes, on my 1070s. The demand on the 1070, if I unplug the 1070 8 pin on it, the card will just turn off. Oh, nice, Zion. You can ship it to. You can get somebody to ship it to you from Miami to the Caribbeans. Then you also gotta Zion. You also have to make sure that from where you're at, what the import tax will be on it too. Import taxes are killer too. Time for power delivery recognition. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yes, Crypto World. Periodically, if you're concerned, check the wires, see if you feel any kind of warmth coming off the wires. Any kind of heat is kind of bad. If you feel heat on there, you're starting to make a toaster. Wires make great toasters when you start overloading them. I always tell people 80% rule. If it says that the max wattage that can come off of this thing is, let's say, 250 watts, I only want to run it at 150 watts, that 80% rule. I'm just kind of tossing numbers. I'm not doing math off the top of my head. But yeah, continuous power. You want to run no more than 80% when you're talking about continuous power, guys. So has anybody got any other questions for me? Otherwise, I'm going to boogie. Any other questions? Because my wife's going to be coming in through that door very shortly here. She's off of work. We should be driving home. And I'd rather be done with the stream before she gets home this way. Whenever she comes in, she's not trying to be quiet or whatever. Can you check for riser surplus? I'm thinking that's what you're saying. I can do a breakdown if you'd like, Bojan, of risers. Go over what I know about them. I can do a riser episode if you're interested in, and I can do cooling solutions and Brett, who was Barrett. Oh my God! As I scroll up to see names and stuff, making sure I don't miss anything either. Barrett, Arizona garage gets up to 121 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow! Granted, it's cooler than what the card is going to run at. Yeah, you need to let the garage breathe a little bit better. You need more ventilation in there. If you can get better ventilation in there, I bet you can lower the garage temp down to probably between 110 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit. But you're going to be running exhaust fans and have fresh air intake to get the air in the garage to not be so stagnated. Stagnated air will heat up and hold that heat until it's fully heat soaked. And that's when you have an issue trying to cool down your graphics cards. And then Barrett, if you hop into the Family Mind Discord, I will post. I think let me double check this. I believe. Do I have one newer? I will put into the rig prawn section a new mining pick for my mining room itself. Yeah, I haven't put one up here in a long time. So I will definitely post in a new mining rig pick into the rig prawn section in the Family Mine here. I'll do that tonight. And all that good stuff. I like the 9S risers. Which one is? So I've got two of them in front of me. This one is a 103C, and then this one is a 9SX. Both of these are dead. They do not work anymore. So a lot of times what I find with the risers, it's not running them is where they fail, is if it's whenever you turn them off and turn them back on. Something inside of these things does like a static discharge internally, and it just wipes itself out. I've never understood why, but they just do it. And then, even though they got foam padding on here, be careful about setting these down and then onto a surface, and then having a bar kind of hold the GPU in place, like in a server case, because the solder joints that are on the PCB sometimes pokes through and will short the riser out also. TechMan, yeah, I've thought about that too. The MOSFET just opens up and just never comes back on. I've thought about that too. I've never actually tested the theory because I don't have spare risers that I can butcher up and see if I can bring them back to life. You know, take one riser that works good, harvest parts off of it to take a dead riser like this one, and see if I can make this one work again. So yeah, so that's just how what I've noticed. I've had one riser where I burnt up completely, and that was actually from Squirrel, the FPGA manufacturer. Their own homebrewed riser smoked on me. It's like, thank you. Crypto world. I'm new to crypto and the tax time is here. If I used all decentralized crypto services, how can they tell what I do in the USA? Basically, I'm asking if they bill you or pay you when you claim cryptos on taxes. So if I mine to a wallet and I never spend it on anything and I'm not converting it, they will, if I just hold it, the world will never know that I had crypto. The moment that you start spending it, you know, AE, buying something on Newegg, paying a bill with it, they're going to see that transfer. So as soon as you try to transfer from crypto to cash, that's when your local government's going to see something. And depending on the exchange that you're using is going to depend on if it gets reported to you or not. So trying to avoid crypto taxes, I I don't condone it. Is there ways to circumvent it? Yes. The best way that I would circumvent some, and I say this, some of the taxes, is to run your mining under a business name. So if you have an LLC or an S corp, I would run your mining equipment through that, and let a business will have greater tax, better ways to have tax discounts versus the individual. So me as an individual, I'm going to get hit at a higher tax rate than a company will. Oh yeah, Tech Man. That is another way to dox yourself. If you're like, oh yeah, I want to win crypto. Here's my crypto address. And if the tax man decides to go, yeah, we're going to look into this, you just doxed yourself. They're going to see your wallet. They're going to know who you are. Some people have claimed that they've gotten hit like that. Yeah, Tech Man, don't commit tax evasion. Pay Uncle Sam. Now, if you haven't moved your crypto and you're mining directly to a crypto wallet and you're just holding, to each their own. It's like I claim all my taxes. All my crypto that I do, I claim it all. But I also run everything under a business, and I don't get hit with the taxes the same way. So I would look for ways to get tax discounts, but not ways to avoid it. Avoiding is far worse. Even though we all know taxation is theft, and labor should not be taxed, but we have no control over this, guys. So don't commit tax evasion. I'd like to see you here next year in the space, in the Discord, all that good stuff. Yes, Barrett. And I'm not a tax guy at all, so don't take me as tax advice of any fucking sort. I'm just a boob tuber. I just mine crypto. I work on hot rods. That's it. But if I mine or I buy today and I sell tomorrow, I get hit with a higher tax rate. But if I mine today or I buy today and I wait for a year, 2 years, 10 years, and I look at the long play on it, I get hit at the lower tax rate. So within the 1 year, the tax is going to be like right around 35% capital gains. If you wait a year or more, you can be anywhere from 20 to 28% tax. You'll be right in between there somewhere. I would talk to a tax professional so that everything is done right. Cross your T's, dot your I's. Don't give Uncle Sam a way to bend you over and say, bite the pillow, we're going in dry. You don't want that. Just did your taxes on TurboTax, and that was the question. Yeah. I have other people that are like, yeah, I did taxes. All they had was, do I have crypto? It was a checkbox. Yes or no. Super simple. And trust me, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, all of them are fucking reporting everybody. Everybody's KYC'd in the United States. You go from cash to crypto and crypto to cash, they're going to report your ass. Yes, Bojan. 100%. Taxation is fucking theft. Considering that, especially the United States, is proving that they don't need our fucking taxes. They can just print it. Why are they taxing me? Leave my wealth alone. You're already stealing my wealth and taxing my wealth every time you print $1 from nothing, you have just taxed me. Then you got the balls to tax me at the end of the year. Yeah, and I hope you're claiming all that taxes, dude. I hope you are. Because I don't want to see you have any issues, Tech Man. Don't need you to be running from the law. Ugh. All right, guys. So I'm gonna hop up off of here. Guys, smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you're new, I see a couple of new people here. Please certainly subscribe and get all your lasted and greatest tech news and mining updates. I will be doing. I'll do a video talking about risers. I've got different generations of risers. I'll talk about cooling. Nice. For sure. Thank you, Barrett. I'll hit you up on that. Not sure if I'm gonna do that tonight, but I'll definitely hit you up, my man, for sure. Glad to have you be part of the community, Barrett. Amazing, good stuff. It's like, and then the community channel that I'm a part of is DCA Adventure. If you guys haven't checked that out, please give that secondary channel a good subscribe and follow over there. This Saturday with me and Mikkel, we're going to have Christy Lee, Oh God a Girl, on. So we're going to talk about Ethereum mining, Ethereum's direction, all that good stuff on DCA Adventure with Oh God a Girl. It should be a great conversation with her. She is very knowledgeable in this space. She has worked with a lot of the industry leaders in this space. Very well respected and well renowned person in the crypto space. So I hope to see everybody over there. And of course, smash that lizard like button. And I will definitely see you all on the next one. Yo!